Welcome to Autographers Anonymous, a place where we discuss our addiction to the greatest hobby in the world. We have somebody that looks familiar here on the show. Let's go around the room.
What's up, guys? It's Mike from the Autograph Network, aka The Godfather, and this is how Avengers Endgame ends. Just kidding, I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Hey, what's going on? This is Stacy, aka That Autograph Dude, and I heard there was an unsnap this weekend, so I'm back.
I'm Chasing Ink, but since we're currently under a tornado warning, I may be Dorothy by the end of this.
Nice.
And I'm Zane Savage, and I like big cuts, and I cannot lie. Well, it's a good one. Let's go ahead and hop into new returns, and we'll start with the man of a million TTMs, with Mike.
All right, and just FYI, I can't hear anything Chase says, so we're in that situation again. But
thank you, Google. Keep up the great work.
All I got, no purchases this week, so I'm going straight TTMs. So let's get right into it. Actor Robert Conrad, whose autograph is very shaky. He had a bad fall and I think a stroke, so he's getting up there in age. Signed 1. Had a sound guy from Star Wars Last Jedi, Michael Semnak. There it is up top. Signed 3. You guys, if you guys follow me on YouTube, you guys know that I've collected the John F. Kennedy assassination. Starting to really dwindle down because I'm running out of people to send to. But this is former police detective Paul McGarren, signed in pen. But this is the overview of Dealey Plaza, signed the first day, which I send to everyone. And here is the Lee Harvey Oswald mugshot. This one was out a long time, and if you guys normally know I send 3, and most of the time I show off 3, but I'm only showing a couple because some of these are now posted on autographforacure.com. Just saying, finally got that rolling. But tennis great Sloane Stevens, she signed 3, and there's 2 of them. Beautiful signature. I was a big poker player back in the day when it was still online before it became illegal, but this is Fossilman Greg Raymer. Play Smart and Fossilman inscriptions, signed in silver there. Won a couple bracelets. Got in trouble with some law, but that's a different story. Hank Bauer. What up, Stacy? Former Charger.
I was like, dude, he died like 10 years ago, but it's a different Hank.
I think he does radio for him now.
Yeah, I think so. Got in trouble for saying something a while back, and is back on the air. But I wrote to him before. I posted a couple on the website, but this is Mike Curtis, and he had a famous tackle where a fan ran on the field, and he just annihilated him. You can Google that, Mike Curtis. This was a private address that came back. I'm so glad it did. This is Kathy Kinney, and she played Mimi on the Drew Carey Show. To Archer, Bite Me, Love Mimi, the inscription. Awesome there. This one is Archer, I treated Drew like a dog, love Mimi. Signed it down at the bottom. So classy, and there's a cast photo signed on the website. This one, I'm surprised came back. He's been signing through an address, which is a rec center, I believe. One of the greatest upsets in all of sports. James Busta Douglas. He beat the unbeatable in Mike Tyson. And that's from the fight there. Was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And there was a third shot. He had a video game for the Sega Genesis. Bob Crippen, astronaut. Anytime I see the astronauts now, I send to him. He was actually the pilot for the first space shuttle mission. Awesome shot. I love the space stuff, so sent to him. Being a Lightning fan still, even though we lost, this is Bobby the Chief Taylor. He is a color commentary guy for the Lightning, but was also not a Hall of Fame, but a Stanley Cup winning player with the Flyers.
That was a heck of a mustache, I must say.
Oh yeah, this is old school. Look at that.
Oh yeah, nice and thick.
Yep. Signing one, Ernest Biner, football player. Stacy, I think you got him back, but this is a pretty big one. Nolan Bushnell.
What?
He is
Is that private address?
I believe so. The inventor or one of the founders of Atari, and also the founder of Chuck E. Cheese Pizza. This one's actually signed in silver. It's hard to see, but up there.
I'm friends with him on Facebook. Like we added each other like back in the day, and I sent him a message and he never responded. So like the fact that you got him TTM like a little angers me a little. Not gonna lie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to upset the Zane Savage. I'm signing 3 and with some extras. I haven't posted these yet. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, great Hall of Fame wrestler with the WWF. Great shot here, blowing the fire. But he had a classic match, WrestleMania 3, with the Macho Man. And he sent, let's see, some 8x10s to be posted on the website. These were courtesy of him, blowing fire. Ricky the Dragon with the belt. Here he is with Dragon, and from the WrestleMania 3 match with the Macho Man. So very classy act to send that. Let's see if any of these are. Oh, this one's. I do like this. This was out a while. This is Megan Kavanaugh, and she played Marla Hooch in A League of Their Own.
Man, she was pretty. I had a crush on her.
So that's from the movie. And there's Marla Hooch.
That's a really good. I like that. Did she put a description on that? Or was it just the name?
What a hitter.
What a hitter.
What a
Yeah.
hitter. That's
it
what
was.
it is.
Yeah.
Because they didn't do a close up on her. What a hitter.
Yep.
A couple of cast shots and then one close up. That's what she looks like.
Fun fact: that was actually shot like 45 minutes away from here.
Nice.
Yeah, in an old stadium.
I'll show this one because he sent an extra, which is pretty cool. Armin Shimmerman. He does a lot of voice acting, but he was also in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And there's a promo there. And he sent this, which is pretty cool because it's a limited edition Deep Space Nine card. So a lot of the extras I'm getting, you know, I'm asking if they want to send anything for the cause, and those will be posted. Let me just see. I got a couple more here. A couple astronauts, but I want to show this one because this is a special one. This is Roy Gleason, and he had just a couple appearances in Major League, but he's one of the few people that Major League players that were drafted into Vietnam and served, and he actually won a Purple Heart. But he signed that one, and he's, I think, the only player with a perfect batting average. Got one hit in his one official Major League at bat. But if you guys want to read up on him, I bought his book, Lost in the Sun, Roy Gleason's story. So, but why it's so special, and let me just make sure I hide this here. He is the first official donor to Autographs with a Cause, and he sent $100. So blown away. Cancer has touched many lives, and I'm so humbled that people like that, who are just, you know, he's an everyday person. He's not an A-list celebrity, would take the time to send something like that. So kudos to him. I think that's it.
Awesome,
Mr.
man.
Schaefer.
Alrighty, I'm just going to get into it. I haven't been on here for a while, so there'll be a few things here, but let's get at it. Going to start with some cards, some pickups, and whatnot. Joe Girardi. If I can get the glare off there.
This is a purchase.
Yep. Adrian Beltre. Maybe.
You think he'll go in the Hall of Fame? Did he get 3,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's in.
Jose. Edgar Martinez.
I feel like we're seeing a lot more on-card certs lately. I like it.
John Smoltz. That'll bring back some memories there. Mark Grace rookie card. King Felix. Derek Fisher. Latrell Sprewell.
Man, you got some interesting characters there in the last two. I'll put it that way.
Let's see. A couple of wrestling. Drew McIntyre.
It's a tiny little signature.
I know. Randy Orton.
What, they make the stickers like an inch tall?
Oh, I know. They like all these. They're really.
What the heck?
Michael P.S. Hayes.
Guys, we can save so much money if we make the stickers a little bit smaller.
There's another interesting character. There's Sonny.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Ding back in the
Couple of-
90s.
Yep. These are a couple of TTM back. Got Bret Hart back. Signed 2 cards.
That'd be a good case against.
Yeah. And one of the only 4 or 5 spring training successes I got, but this one isn't too bad. Andrew McCutcheon. Then got this from a friend. Picked this up for me. This Don Mattingly. Pretty nice looking.
That's a really detailed Don Mattingly signature. I haven't seen one of those since the 80s. That's weird.
Then the last couple of card purchases, picked up a Trevor Hoffman certified by PSA.
Is he in the Hall of Fame yet?
Yeah, we went this past season or past year. And then picked up a Bonds.
Man, you are all about the tiny signatures today. What the heck, man?
I know. All right, that does it for those. Now let's get into TTMs. I don't know if I can't remember if I showed this off last time if I had these, but Jason Momoa got 2 of these. There's one from Aquaman and one from Game of Thrones. This next one is from NXT. They just got called up. The Viking Experience. They were the War Raiders in NXT. They signed 3 of 3. Got Herschel Walker back. There's that one. And a cool shot of him and Evander Holyfield. Next up, got Ty Law back. He signed 3 of 3. Mike got 1 of them. But there's the other 2.
Just real quick, FYI, that window has closed. I got an RTS, so.
Next up, got Dolly Parton back finally. That took quite a while. Signed 2 of 2.
Now that would really be a good case against because there's some interesting irregularities with her signature. I'm not saying yours are whatever, but I once got one in a rummage sale. I don't know where somebody got it, but I don't think it was legit. So she's got some weirdness going on. Go ahead.
Here's a first appearance by Getty.
Uh-oh. Getty ding.
Hey, let's see. Up next, got Keegan Michael Key. This was one of with the help of Mr. Zane Savage. He signed 2 of 2.
Private address. Don't even think about messaging me, people.
And got back Slobby Robbie. I don't know if you guys know what it's. I can't remember what his store is called, but he had a Netflix series that just started. I think his store's Generation Cool, but
I was
he
like, why
does
are
a
you
lot
being
of
mean
like
to Margot
retro stuff.
Robbie? Like,
nope. He signed 3 of 3, then had a couple of other people sign the photos that were in the photos. They all work at a store. And there's that one. And then that one. Let's see. You got Lance Storman, signed 3 of 3.
what was his thing? Was it shut up? Was that him?
Can we be
Shut
serious
up.
for
Let me be serious for a minute.
minute? Yeah. There's a cool shot of him and Jericho.
There was one that would go, shut up. Shut up. I thought it was.
And there's a funny one with Duggan in it. Let's see. Got in Richard Donner. This took quite a while. This is well over a year, I think. He signed 3 of 3. And there's a shot from Superman. All right, another one with the help of Mr. Savage, but Alec Baldwin signed 2 of 2. There's one for Mission Impossible. I won't show Nolan Bushnell again, so Zane won't get more mad. Here's another one because of Zane. Signed 2 of 2, John Legend.
Just so everybody knows, I don't even have those addresses. I didn't keep them. So don't message me. Like, I don't have them.
Couple of more. They were in NXT at the time. One of these guys have been called up. I got 2 of 2 from Ricochet. And I know Mike will enjoy this next one. Chelsea Green. Have you gotten her yet, Mike?
No, I missed the Ricochet, and Chelsea hasn't sent back. I didn't get Mia Yim either.
Okay, let's see. Up next, got Susan Sarandon back, signed 2 of 2. There's one from Bull Durham. One from Thelma and Louise. 3 of 3 back from Paul Dano. This was via a play on Broadway. There is that one. That one. And that one. Finally got my Patrick Stewart back. There's that.
Is Gandalf still signing? I think didn't he sign back in the day?
If you can get him, yeah, I think if you can get him via venue when he's doing plays, but I think that's about it.
That would be a good duel to have.
Yeah. Ruby Rose. I finally got mine back. Signed 2 of 2. Jennifer Tilly, 2 of 2.
Getty.
Yep. Let's see. And then the last 2. Another one. This is another Zane Savage. Dolph. Signed 2 of 2. One from Rocky. And then just a shot of him in Stallone. I think this is probably from the Creed 2. And then the last one, got this in yesterday. Kirk Douglas got back one of. I sent 2. He signed 1.
Holy cow, dude! He's like over 100.
I know.
That's awesome. Did you only send back 1?
Yeah, I see. He signed 1, and it came back with whoever must be handling his mail gets it. Then I got back the piece of like a piece of like cardstock stationery that has like the instructions, like who to make the inscription to, and then so whoever must get his stuff, then
I'm jealous. Like that's a unique signature to like. It's not a hard signature to get because he signed a ton of books back in the 90s, but to have one when he's over 100 and has had a stroke, like that's signed like that. Like I want.
Yeah, because he was. I mean, until recently, he was still only books, and just this last like couple months, he's been signing photos. So
that's awesome.
That's it.
That's it. Good chase. Here's our go.
All right. I got quite a bit of stack here as well, but I'm not going to show all of them off. I'm gonna just show off a few here. Coming back, still getting in spring training returns. Got Chili Davis signing 2 of 2 today for the nice yellow 91 Fleer set.
What kind of person names their kid Chili? I'm just wondering.
At least his last name wasn't Dog.
Is he with? Who's he with? Is he with the Rangers now, or?
No, he's a coach for the Mets, I believe.
Yes, I know he was the Cubs hitting coach last year, but got fired.
Yeah. I got 1 of 2 back from Lance Lynn, who's with the Rangers now. 2 of 2 from Jesse Chavez with the Rangers. Those are all spring trainings. Then I've got 2 from Tony La Russa. We got Andre Dawson. And then Mike Marshall, which I was already signed by Ronicky. Now I just need to send it off to Steve Sachs.
Getting feedback from somebody. Might be Mike.
Got Mike Tyson, but not the one you're thinking of. The baseball Mike Tyson. He signed 4. Let's see. Got Mike Morgan, signed 3. We got Stump Merrill, who was the Yankees manager at one time, signing 4.
Just so you, I'm going to jump in here real fast. Mike Marshall reminded me of the player Mike. What's the Dodger guy that wouldn't sign autographs? He was like a minor player, and like his autographs worth a ton of money. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? I think it was Mike something. It was back in the 80s.
Yeah, I know the name, but I can't think. I know
we
what
need
you're
to do a
talking
segment
about.
on that dude or talk about him sometime. So it's all in your conscious now. Remind me sometime. Okay, go on,
Okay.
Chase.
I got a free autograph by sending an email to Wheel of Fortune by Pat Sajak and Vanna White. And then some of this stack that I had was a lot of in-person. I go to Frisco Rough Rider games, and so I got a few here that they had a Friends night. This is James Michael Tyler, who played the barista Gunter. So there's one there. Got one there. And then I'll show you this one, which I don't know if Zane, you want to talk about that now or later, but that's the last one I
We're going to
have.
be giving that away this show. I'll talk more about it later, but you can look forward to that later.
So that's all I got.
Oh, I guess it's my turn then. Okay. So I got in one of the biggest names in sports history today, or not today, this week. Babe Ruth. Let me show you this gem. So this is from a 1932 Waterman catalog. Basically, they sent these little books out to people, and it was a contest. And you filled this book up with as many signatures as you could. And I think it worked like the best book won, and you win money for it. This is back when signatures weren't really worth a lot of money. They were just kind of a novelty. So I think this was a Boy Scout thing, actually. A lot of Boy Scouts did it, and it was popular over in Great Britain. So I bought a Waterman book that the person didn't know there were live signatures in it. They just thought it was part of the book. But there's a Babe Ruth in here. The problem is it's a terrible version of a Babe Ruth signature. Looks nothing like Babe Ruth, which is fine because the Weissmuller and the Gene Tunney match up fine with their signature. I'm gonna have
He is a champion baseball player, though.
He's a champion baseball player, yes. And there's only 3 signatures in here, but I got this for a steal price. The book alone's worth like $100, but that's the signatures.
Well, maybe you can win that contest with fakes, right?
Maybe I could win $2,000, guys. Yeah, I don't know how they did fakes. I don't know if they authenticated. I doubt they did. I'd say it was probably a ruse to get like signatures. It's a pretty good ruse, actually. I should start a new Waterman's catalog.
I know we should have that.
Dude, send me all your autographs. I'll give you $2,000. The winner gets $2,000. Everybody else can, shove off. Yeah, I got this in. The Babe Ruth was obviously not legit, and but the other ones match up fine with their authentic stuff. I just got to make sure they're live signatures. It's kind of hard to do whenever you can't look through the paper because it's pasted on. But I just wanted to show off my Babe Ruth I got in. Yeah. I did get a TTM. It's a freaking miracle, and it's a very timely TTM on my tiny card set, which I've been complaining about for a lot of these episodes, but I've been getting a few in lately. It's kind of been nice. I still don't think it's a good idea to do tiny cards, folks, but I did it, and I got in George R.R. Martin. So didn't put his profession down or the date, but he did sign. So thank you, George. And I think the last thing I'm going to show you guys is an autograph I've been chasing. It's not Feynman. Feynman's my biggest white whale that I got and had to sell. But Robert Wadlow is a guy who but you don't know his name. He was a guy that grew up in Alton, Illinois, and he was 8'11", I believe. Let me make sure that's right, okay? Because I don't want to give you an improper height. He was 8'11". So it was due to some like glandular issue or something. I forget how he became that tall, but basically they fix that when you're a kid nowadays. So nobody's ever going to be this tall again. And if you go to like the Guinness Book of World Records or like Ripley's Believe It or Not shows him on everything. He's everywhere whenever you go to Ripley's. But Robert Wadlow, he was born in 1918. He died in 1940, so he was 28 when he died. But surprisingly, there's a decent amount of signatures out there from Robert, because what he did to make a living was go to these fairs, all these county fairs in the area, and he would sign autographs and talk to people. So there's several autograph books with him in it, but just a really cool piece of history. So I bought this autograph book. This autograph book is pretty cool to begin with. It's got like Jack Dempsey in it, which alone's like $80 to $100 signature. But let me show you the Wadlow. It doesn't show up very well on my camera because it's so like the white balance is off, and it's also in pencil. But let me try to angle it here. So I got this because I've been wanting it for a long time. Ponied out a decent amount of money for it, but god dang it, you can kind of see it. There you go. It's in pencil. Yeah. Okay. So then I got this in, and I was looking through the book, and that's where the signature stop was on Wadlow. Then I was looking in the back. And what do I find in the back? Another Wadlow. He signed it twice. And this is a bolder signature. So amazing that I finally got a signature. And the cool thing is I can keep one. I can sell one. I basically got a Robert Wadlow signature for free. So I made out like a bandit on that. Love it. So really happy to get that. I have some other stuff that I'm not going to show it because I'd have to flip through the books. It's not really anybody big. But let's go ahead and move on with the show. We're going to move on to Collector's Chronicles. And it's my turn this week to do Collector's Chronicles. And basically, Collector's Chronicles is a segment where we talk about a story that we had in autograph collecting that's either funny or memorable. And this one, actually, I think Stacy remembered it for me because I kind of forgot about it. But Felicia Day, if you guys don't know, back on our old show, I talked about Felicia Day a lot. I like redheads. That's understatement. Felicia Day is one of my favorite redhead celebrities, along with like Kieran Gillian and a couple others. That one. Bella Thorne, she was all right for a while, and now she's like super weird.
Christina Hendricks.
Christina, yeah, well, I mean, Christina Hendricks, I mean, that's a whole nother level of redhead. Anyway, so I like Felicia Day, and I like the Guild. I'm kind of a nerd, so I like the Guild a lot, and it's about gaming and like a WoW type of game. So I found a private address for Felicia Day. I think it's the same one that I think I ended up posting on Star Tiger or somebody else did. So I wrote to it and got some stuff back signed. It was great. And I was like, I'm going to milk this cow one more time. So I ordered some nice 8x10s and found some new photos. And this one photo She was laying back in the grass and had like a dress on, and her chesticles looked a little bigger than normal. But I was like, yeah, it's probably Photoshop. Like, they probably just photoshopped her up. So I send it off like 2 or 3 8x10s. Because I'm like, I don't know how long this address is going to exist. She was kind of on the top of her game back then, so I think she was doing Supernatural at the time. So I wait to hear back, nothing. I don't hear anything back. I'm like, what the heck? And I'm on Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter. I don't check Twitter. If somebody DMs me or something, I get on Twitter. So somebody's like, I think it was an autograph group or something. They're like, Felicia Day is really angry at some TTMers. I'm like, really? That's weird. So I clicked the tweet link, and sure enough, there's my 8x10 sitting in the photo, along with like a 5x7 and like a 4x6. And it's the same photo. And she's basically like, whoever keeps sending me photos of this woman, I'm not going to sign it ever. And like, she was just angry about it. I'm like, I didn't realize why she was angry. I mean, why would you be angry? Like, it's a misunderstanding. Like, it looked like her, but it's like photoshopped up. She's like, I wish I had boobs this big. Or she said something like that. But I was like, oh man, I disappointed somebody that I really admired at the time. And that stuff's going to happen in TTMing. We all have stories that match the embarrassment of that story. And I'm sure we'll hear them in another Collector's Chronicles down the line. All right. Moving on from my embarrassment. The topic for today is certification. And this is something we actually haven't really touched on at all on the show, mainly because as collectors, like we've all collected for like 15, 20 years. So whenever you're a collector for that long and you're doing like cheaper end stuff like TTMs and like not major celebrities that are forged heavily, you tend to not need COAs as much. You trust your own instincts and your research. But we do need to talk about certification. It's a major part of the hobby that can't really be ignored. So first, let's talk about some of the companies that you can get certified by. PSA, JSA, Beckett. And there's some new companies coming up and some new companies going out of the market. So there's some real fluctuation there. PSA. Let's talk about PSA first. That's looked at as the gold standard, even though they've obviously made many mistakes. What are you guys' thoughts on PSA in general? Go ahead.
I mean, I would say it's. Go ahead, Drew.
JSA and PSA, are they the same company?
No, you don't know? No, okay, yeah, they're not. So this tells you like the world of a TTMer is almost like for vintage like sports autographs and modern autographs like big names like this stuff you have to know. But for a TTMer, it's not necessary to know this stuff. PSA is PSA DNA. They started out, I believe, certifying trading cards, and then they moved on to certified autographs, and there may be certified more stuff now. A lot of these companies are branching off into game used memorabilia, but PSA DNA is the one that's been around, I think, the longest. GAI, I think GAI is one of those ones that was kind of authenticating everything back in the 90s, and now nobody trusts I think that's the one I'm thinking of. So like I said, we don't know a ton about the specific companies because we don't use them a lot, but we're in the groups with the people that work with these companies. We got to talk about it a little bit, even though we're not experts. I figured we'd just discuss our experiences. Let's start off with this. Has anybody ever sent anything off to get certified to any of the companies?
Nope.
I've done once. I tried a Reggie White autograph card certified and came back failed. That was basically my one experience. As a TTMer, I don't get my stuff certified. I don't want to shell out the money for it. I'm a cheap bastard. So that's just me.
Troy or Chase?
I've sent off a couple, not many. I've bought several that are PSA certified. I've gotten back. Let's see, I sent a baseball signed by King Griffey Jr. It came back good. I sent off a Mark Hamill picture that I'm pretty sure is good. Came back as not real, but it came back like super quick. It was like 2 weeks. Like, I don't know. That was send it and coming back. So I may send that one off again or to a different company. But as far as me sending them out, I mean, I've got a Mickey Mantle photo that I want to send, but I'm scared to pay $100 for them to tell me no.
Yeah.
So it's worth it if it's real, but again, I'd rather just send out my TTMs and get them back and just do my research.
Troy says he sent off some stuff, some cards to get signed in chat. Yeah, it's one of those things that I feel like with sports memorabilia, it's so much more common to need a COA or want a COA. But with some of these groups on Facebook, I feel like group authentication is becoming more of a trusted service almost over certifications. Because like you can post in one of these groups that has like thousands of members saying, hey, what do you guys think about this? And you'll get a pretty solid response either way, usually. Some stuff's in the middle. But PSA is definitely like you see PSA on TV shows. Like Pawn Stars, they always talk about PSA. We actually interviewed the president of PSA, Joe Orlando, on our last podcast. And then I think, did we ever talk to Spence?
I think we did. I was just going to ask you, but I think
we had that lined up, or maybe we did or didn't. I don't remember. It might have been an interview with just you and him because I don't think I was there for that one.
Beckett's a big authenticator now with Steve Grad. You mentioned Pawn Stars.
Yep.
He's like the main autograph guy on Pawn Stars, and he's out of Beckett.
Right. Beckett's another player in the game. So what I've noticed from these companies just generally, and this is coming from, people that don't deal with these companies directly, but talk to other people in the community that use them. PSA is kind of, like I said, the gold standard, but they kind of want you to send things in or go to their booth at a show. JSA tends to be more outgoing to actually go to signings and stuff and actually be there for specific signings and give you authentication after the signing. And due to that, I've seen JSA actually grow quite a bit over the last 5 or 6 years or however long it's been since we last did the podcast. JSA seems to be more trusted than it used to be. Although I will say there was an investigation report done by a news station where they did a sting and signed some fake autographs and they actually ended up getting them authenticated at a show by JSA. So like I said, nobody's perfect on authentication, but that did happen. Beckett, I feel like, is still the third tier. But this all changes, quite a bit over just a couple years. But PSA has such a strong reputation. It's hard to take that away from them. And then we have I think our friend Ruben has Racker's authentication. SG, what was the one that we found?
SGC?
SGI, I think.
SGC, I think it was.
RC,
yeah. So they're getting out of the authentication business for autographs. They just posted it on their website, and they're doing jerseys, like KBS jerseys now. So that's who did this bonds I got was SGC that I got it from. Well, I'm curious. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's PSA.
That's one thing about authenticating cards like that. Our friend Garrett runs a Facebook group called Slab City.
Yep.
And, they submit a lot of cards, and the reason they do that is to get the authentication, but also the encapsulation. So one of the reasons I don't submit, my photos is because I don't want just a sticker on there. Cards, you get the authentication, but it's also encapsulated. So they do it for protection, and it just adds value too.
Plus, he gets a he gets a pretty solid deal for as much as
Yeah.
they send in. So
And
if you're ever looking to do it on a cheaper way,
Yep.
Also, on cut autographs, they also encapsulate. So if you have any
Yep.
cut signatures, I know PSA encapsulates. I don't know if the other companies necessarily encapsulate those,
Yeah.
but
And they will do photos. I'm not saying that they don't, but obviously
Postcard.
the bigger you get, the more expensive you get too.
right. Yeah, that's right. They do comics and stuff too. So yeah, they have those big ones. So yeah, that's a good point. Encapsulation is a big part of it. It preserves the item, museum, archival materials, and all that stuff. Yeah, that's another good reason people send stuff in. Okay, let's move into the next subtopic, which is the process. And we've interviewed, like I said, two of the main people that run two of the main authentication companies in the world. We've already interviewed them on our last podcast. And from what I drew from the conversation is you don't need any schooling or class to be an authenticator. They basically just bring you in and teach you the ropes. They do look for like people that have an eye for things, kind of like a skill to find irregularities. But they pretty much said they'll hire anybody as long as they're willing to learn the process of detecting a signature. So it's not surprising when you hear that it's stuff flies by. And I don't even know, like maybe that's the way to do it, because I've seen some of these like technically like authentication companies that are handwriting experts. They're more like the lawyer type people that you usually see like in court cases investigating handwriting. I've seen a lot of those people have a higher error rate when it comes to authentication, which you would think wouldn't be the case. But it's almost more of an art form, I would think, maybe than an exact science. Do you guys agree with that? Like detecting, because we do it. I mean, even though we're not sending off stuff, we do it ourselves, right? When you buy a signature, you have to investigate yourself.
We do. And I think a lot of those people, look at a lot of stuff, but I wish I could find the link, but there's a YouTube video how technology has come into authentication too. There's a baseball that was signed and they put it in like through UV X-ray type, looking at the signature, and they could actually tell that somebody tried to do the signature and removed it and then tried again. So
there was a PSA
I think
video. It's on their YouTube page, PSA's YouTube page.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So go to PSA on YouTube and you can see that. But technology has changed authentication, because before it was like, an expert looks at it. And if you go to like a show and there's PSA or somebody, an authenticator, they may look at it and that's what they do. They compare it to other things. But, if you send it in, I wonder if the process is different. Like if you send it to the actual like headquarters of PSA, I'm assuming that's where it goes.
Yeah. And that reminds me, I do need to state the JSA sting where they authenticated fake items. It was a little sneaky by the sting itself, because they forged people's signature that were going to be at the event. So they had a couple famous hockey players there. They forged both of their signatures and they were at the event. So they took the signatures that they forged to the event and took it to JSA, which was, at a booth at the event, and they authenticated the signatures. Now JSA obviously knew the people were there. They probably assumed that those signatures came directly from the signing that was, just a few booths down. And that's probably why it got authenticated. That doesn't mean it's right, but it's a little shady on the Sting's end, I think, because obviously the people are going to be a lot more lax if they think the signature just came from the booth down the next way. So I want to throw that out there. It wasn't like they were authenticated a mantle or something that was forged, which that happens. But this Sting was specifically for people that were at that convention. So, and that video, I have to pull it up, but I may link it on our website or post it on our Twitter so you guys can see, and Facebook. So just go there and you guys can watch it. I'll post it after the show. So, all right. So the process of authentication, I think it's different with all companies, but your point with technology is a really good one. I didn't even think about that. Like technology has changed the way they authenticate. So it's almost a mix of technology and art, in my opinion. That because the technology can knock out some of the little tricks they do. I know they use certain materials to rough up old like balls to make them look old, and they can do chemical analysis and stuff to figure that stuff out now.
I know. I don't know if they do it on cards or photos, but on my baseball that I got back that I sent in for PSA, they actually have a serial number that they stamp with like invisible ink, where if you turn a black light on it, it actually shows up.
Oh, so you can't send it in again?
I don't. Well, you could send it in, I guess, maybe if you got somebody else signed. But it's just like a little serial number. It's another way that like it's got a sticker, but you could take the sticker off and might put it on a different autograph. If you, I guess. But yeah,
well, they usually
got a
have
serial number stamped in.
They have the adhesive, like the stuff that sticks to the ball or photo if you take it off, usually. But yeah, I'm sure there's ways to get those stickers off. Like, the scammers and the fake, forgers, they find a way. There's big money to be made in the memorabilia market, but I didn't know they did the invisible stamps now. That's
yeah,
cool.
I tried it out. I put it under a black light just to see what it would do. But yeah, they do that on the baseballs, I know.
PSA always has a good category catalog of stuff on their website too. So if you're ever on eBay and wanting to question if something actually is legit from PSA, you can scan the serial number. You can look at the serial number and on PSA's website there'll be photos and
Unless it's Debbie Reynolds.
True.
Their secretarial on there. Okay, let's move on to the next subtopic. eBay garbage. These are store COAs. Well, they should be called store COAs. Some people do not present them as store COAs. Basically, these are COAs that come from individual sellers that are garbage, basically. It does tell you where the autograph came from, which is a good thing. For example, in my store, I offer a store COA, but that's only because it's requested so often, and I got sick and tired of fulfilling requests when it wasn't on my page. So I don't send it out with everything. I only send it out if it's requested. But it is on my page now when I sell things, and it's basically a guarantee so people know where the autograph came from, and if they have an issue with the signature down the line, they can return it for a full refund. That's what a store COA should be. But as we learned throughout the 90s, a lot of people were cranking out their own little COAs and using it as proof that it's authentic. And that's a big mistake. And it's an easy one to make if you're new to the hobby or you don't know anything about the hobby. You see COA and you assume it's real. So I think Chase, you held up earlier a big stack of
that's what I'm
COAs.
looking at here.
So I want you to show some of those off for us. This is what we're talking about.
That I've gotten in person. Like here's a Star Trek Nemesis poster signed in person at a MegaCon, and they did their own little COAs. So that can be tracked.
Oh. Okay, wait, Mike, you muted Chase. Okay, there we go. Chase,
right,
go ahead.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
So I don't know. Did you get any of that or?
Oh no, a lot of it got muted. So
okay,
I'll go ahead and do it again.
Yeah, I've got. There's some here like this one is a convention certificate, where it shows like the convention where I got it in person. I've got some where like here's another one where I've got Stan Lee in person, and then on the back they've got the item and what it is.
And those are more legit because they're actually from a specific place where you can actually look and see if the person was there. So those have a little more oomph to them.
And then I've got one where I've got Margaret Carey, who was the model for Tinkerbell, who is just a generic copy of the same little.
Which you could put on a copier
verbiage
right now and make 10,000 copies of and sign 10,000 fake signatures. So you got to watch out on those too. If they're not if they don't have color, if they're not like cardboard, if there's just a piece of paper that's already a copy, then I wouldn't trust it really at all. I would say it's at that point it's meaningless.
Like this one, I did get this one in person, but it has really hardly any info on it. It's just a just says it does have the date on it, but it doesn't tell you what was signed. It just says signed by Adam West in person. But I mean, there's all sorts of.
Do you have any crappy eBay like certificates from like, you know, the ones I'm talking about that are like a little business card that has like the name of the company on top and then like a written in place what the item is? Like those are great. Those are the worst by far. Or even worse, like I guess even worse is just a printed off piece of paper that has like a line on it where they add the name. Like those are basically worse than bad. And if they don't have a company name on it, then just throw it away probably anyway. But
no, I don't really have any of those.
Oh,
I've got like hidden treasures. They do theirs. You know, this is a TriStar. You know, they have these little hidden treasures, and then on the other side it tells you what it is. You know, it's like you buy a random a bag. It's got like a baseball inside it that's signed by somebody, and so that's kind of like theirs, but it's not serial numbered or anything.
Yeah, there's all different kinds. The ones you're showing actually have validity. Like there's certain things, aspects to them that I would keep them. But if you buy on eBay, you're going to get tons of crap COAs. It used to be a lot worse than it is now. Have you got like Stacy and Mike? Do you guys keep your crap COAs?
I mean, I probably had some back in the day, but I don't have anything anymore.
No, if I get something like that, you know, obviously I do the research before I buy it, and if it comes with something like that, I just junk it. But the problem with buying on eBay is, you know, if it comes with a JSA, you know, certification sticker, those have been fake too. So if you're buying from eBay, there's, you know, just because it says JSA on eBay doesn't mean that it's certified by JSA.
Yep.
Yeah, I found one here that doesn't even tell you what it is. It's just a certificate saying that it's an autograph.
Oh yeah,
it didn't even tell you what autograph it was. So I don't even. It's signed by the CEO of this company, whoever, I don't know.
Henry says he got a COA from Margaret Kidder, and people thought he was an idiot when he paid the extra $2, and then she passed away. The personal COAs work pretty well. Like especially if they have a hologram. I think Nolan Ryan does holograms, personal holograms. That stuff works really well.
Willie Mays does too as well. All his are.
There's some stuff on eBay. They've got a lot of garbage on eBay of Willie Mays. Say Hey Foundation or whatever it's called. Yeah, you really got to watch yourself on Willie Mays. Like somebody got a hold of. I think somebody got a hold of a bunch of the same stickers is what happened, and they just forged away. They did a bunch of forgeries. So, but yeah, in general, the personal COA from the actual celebrity, that's a great idea. But what I mean, all celebrities aren't going to do that. But
since we're talking about eBay, do you know if they still do this? Like JSA or one of them, you can do like if you see something on eBay and you're questioning the authenticity of it, you can submit it for a quick, like
$5. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I think it's PSA that does that.
You're not going to get the full. Yeah. Okay. So it's PSA. You can pay like $5-10 and they'll do a quick judgment. Just say, okay. Yep.
Yeah. I think it's called Quick Opinion or something like that.
There you go. Something like that.
And yeah, so a lot of people actually like PSA is expensive. So if some people don't care about the sticker, what they'll do is they'll list their item for like $1,000 on eBay, and they'll do a quick opinion with a different account on their own item, and boom, you've got authentication from PSA, a quick opinion at least, for $5. And I think I would think they would offer that through their website also, which would take the need out of doing it through eBay out. But yeah, that's forgot about that. That's a good.
I know. On a side note on that, I know that they also have, if you send that item in to get authenticated by PSA, if you already have the quick opinion, they take that money that you spent, like $5 or whatever, off of it. So it gives you a little bit of a discount. But
I did not know that. That's actually pretty cool. Research. Obviously, we don't get COAs here. None of us really deal with COAs. We do our own research, and that's what it comes down to, people. Even if you have a piece of paper that says your item is real, you need to look at it yourself, make your own judgment. You got to feel comfortable with the item in your collection. Like, some people collect to collect and don't care. To them, to each their own. I feel like sometimes that stuff gets out. Like, they might buy a fake, and then it's in a collection with some real stuff, and then it gets mixed in when they sell stuff. So I don't like it, but that's their prerogative. You know, they do their own thing, and we do ours. I don't want any fakes in my collection, and we've talked about this before. We separate out stuff we suspect is auto pen, sectorial, all that stuff. But do your research whenever you're finding autographs. Go by your gut and evidence. If you have any weird feelings about it, probably jump. It's like buying a car, but cheaper. You know, you got to go.
In some cases,
yeah, in some cases it is buying a car. If you're buying a Ruth or something like that, but yeah, it's just like we're not anti-COA. We feel like we're knowledgeable enough to make good choices when it comes to purchasing signatures. And we're going to make mistakes too. I guarantee you, I got stuff in my collection that's fake. Everybody does. Doesn't matter who you are. If you have a collection over 100 autographs, you probably got one in there that's, one or more that are duds.
And this is another good interview to go back and listen to from the old shows. And we interviewed the guy from Autograph World.
That's right, Bob Jones.
Yeah, because he talked about the whole COA thing and why they don't do them.
They do what I do. They do the optional. You can pay like a few dollars extra, and they give it's technically a thing that says you bought it from Autograph World or whatever. So that's pretty much exactly what I do.
Like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's it right there. That's exactly what it is. So that's what you get from Autograph World. But they don't offer that when you buy a signature right for free. Like, you have to request that. So I think that's the way to go about it, in my opinion. Okay, it's enough about certification. Obviously, we are not experts in certification. We are actually going to start a new segment, okay? And we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to call it Under the Microscope. And we are going to look at all these different authentication companies, as many as we can, and go in depth, find some examples of fakes, find some examples of maybe stuff like their origin, some opinions that people have. Do they trust them? Do they not trust them? Not going to be long segments, obviously, because we're not going to write a documentary for you, but just a little background on these companies, so you guys know who you're dealing with when you get a piece of paper or something. So that's a segment you guys can look forward to in later podcasts. Okay, I feel like I've talked for like an hour, guys. We're going to move on to fanatic feedback. Okay, and we have 2 questions for today. And this question is coming from DK. DK asks, have you ever, excuse me, my voice is going hoarse. That's how much I've talked. Have you ever seen the processing machines at USPS that sorts the mail? He's curious to what the machines/rollers look like, or how it's processed, with the machines sometimes destroying the common self-addressed stamped envelope. And then you're left with a portion of the TTM, and it's in a bag that says, "We care. We really do care about you. Here's half of your letter or trading card back." No, I don't think anybody's allowed in there. I'm sure if you looked up on Google, you could probably see a picture of the machine. But from personal experience, the machine does not take tiny envelopes. I can tell you that. They got all mad whenever I had sent those tiny envelopes out. I got a couple back from the postmasters being like, "You can't send these. These don't work on our machines." And when they don't work in their machines, they have to hand do them. And that costs more than just a regular envelope. So that's why they're angry. They're not getting their money. But I'm guessing you guys haven't seen the processing machines either.
I've seen one, but I've never seen it in use, so I don't really know.
Really? You've seen one?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I seen a little clip of one on the news one time, because last year Apparently, somebody was mailing something that had mercury in it, and it busted open inside the machine, and our mail was down for about a week while they got that figured out. So
Gosh,
the news kind of showed it on there, but that it as not working. It just like set dead.
that's crazy. Those machines probably cost a lot of money. Mike, I'm guessing you've never seen a sorting machine.
Not other than I think like YouTube videos, and I know that they handle like 1 million pieces of mail a day, and it's like on rollers and shoots off. So I know when it does get caught somewhere, it's just and that's why you get the we care. Here's your shredded envelope.
And I can guarantee you, every single one of us have lost TTMs to the mail sorting machine.
Yep.
And we may not have got anything back, but I guarantee you, we've sent out so many TTMs over our lifetime that some of those bad boys got stuck in that machine.
Everybody's getting one person back, and you never got yours. Well, it probably got stuck in the machine.
Got stuck in the machine, guys. It's where your Harrison Fords went. They got stuck in the machine. Let's move on to the second question. This is coming from Andre. It says, "Good day, folks. I live in Germany, and I rarely get responses from the U.S. anymore. For example, in the last months, I wrote heavily to B movie actors and 50s and special effects artists and cinematographers whose names aren't even listed on Star Tiger. I know a guarantee for a response does not exist, but one should think that those guys don't get a lot of fan mail and will at least sign their John Hancock on a photo they receive. Do you think USPS tosses a lot of stuff away, like throws it away, or doesn't deliver it anymore? From what I've seen, U.S. collectors also experience general downfall in TTM successes lately. What do you think is the explanation for that? Thanks a lot for taking the time, guys. Please continue with the podcast. We shall. And please bring Stacy back. We won't. Oh, wait.
Oh, damn.
Worked out well that you came back for this episode.
That damn snap worked.
Says, cheers, Andre. So, yeah, the downturn in TTMs, I think, is just management getting in the way due to autograph collecting, people selling autographs for a living after their careers kind of washed up. I think more and more managers are telling their people not to sign and charge. That's kind of my guess.
Yeah, I think it's just society and then the way it is now. I mean, it's
yeah, exactly. It's the way there's a market there. They're going to fulfill the market. But the people you wrote to, if they're not on Star Tiger, the reason you probably didn't get a success is because those weren't tested addresses. Excuse me. I know when I did my America project, some of the hardest people to get were people I was literally in contact with, but didn't understand why the hell I wanted their autograph. So that may be the issue you're running into. It's not necessarily the letter's not getting to the person. The person's confused as to why you want their autograph. Now, you should have got something back, obviously. Mail also takes a long time to go back and forth from the United States and Germany. But if it's been over a month, well, I guess you got to give time for the TTM, maybe 2 months, and you haven't got anything back. It's kind of weird. What do you guys think?
I'll jump in first. Guten Tag. So the problem with international, when you send something out, I'm speaking from my point of view. When I send something overseas, I use the global stamps to send it to someone. Now, what I do is I include, like $3 American cash, and I'm banking that the person I'm sending to overseas will buy stamps with that American money. They'll exchange it for whatever country currency they need and buy stamps. What you might be running into is how you're trying to get it back from the United States back to Germany. If you're using, if you're buying global stamps and sending it, that's great. But if you're sending, Deutschmarks? If you're sending, some kind of foreign currency, that person on my end, in the States might not do anything with that return because they don't want to go exchange it because we don't have access to that, readily where you can exchange currency. So, it's a crapshoot because you're banking on someone on the other end unless you have that currency or that postage for that country. You're hoping the person that you're writing to will exchange for postage. For me, I'm guessing a lot of people I write to are still actors, might travel a lot, so American money might hold a little more, favor in the world as far as TTMs go.
I think they're on euros now, right?
Is that what it is?
I'm not sure. But like, so if you're overseas and obviously a majority of celebrities live in, like, big name celebrities live in the United States, I would totally recommend going to eBay and buying a book of American stamps. Oh wait, you could do the international stamps, right?
Global, yep.
The global.
Global
So
Forever.
buy the USPS Global Forever stamps, and that would come in very handy. What Mike is holding up.
Yep, these guys right here.
So if you're not using those, and you're sending like German money, that's going to be a problem most likely. Somebody might like it for the novelty, but like it's hard to exchange that. So especially like $3 is not worth your time to like try to figure out how to convert it necessarily. So get those. If you're writing to a bunch of people, it's worth just get a book or whatever and just go to town, and that should increase your likelihood of a response if you haven't done.
I mean, it's just like everything. It's you go through your stages. Sometimes I can go months with getting a ton of stuff in, then I can have stretches where I go 6-7 months where I've sent the same amount of stuff out, and it just goes down.
Yeah,
and I see another thing that I've noticed too, because I tend to write to a lot of, internet people. I write to a lot of people that aren't overly famous. I wouldn't say they're A-list actors or sometimes not even B-list actors, but a lot of these people, like Zane was saying with their management, but a lot of these people have Patreon accounts now that some of them won't sign through the mail anymore because they offer it through their Patreon. You can spend $5 a month in their Patreon. A lot of times they'll send you something or whatever their tiers are on Patreon. I've been noticing a lot of that of late.
Troy says, clarify using global stamps are for your send, not the IIRC.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
The global stamps, the Global Forever stamps are for sending from the United States anywhere in the world.
Yep.
So if you get them, you're not sending the global stamps from your country. They are for the United States sending anywhere in the world.
Right. So they're for your self-addressed stamped envelope. It's in the inside. If you're sending from outside the country into the U.S. Now, if you're in the U.S., then you use those to send out to the other country. And depending on if you're going to send a lot of TTMs to that country you're sending to, you could go online and get a book of stamps from that country if you're sending a bunch. If you're not, you can try the money, which the dollar is more universally taken there. So,
because what are they? What, $1.05? Is that what they are now?
I don't know. I haven't bought them, so
$1.15, I think now.
Okay.
But they're, like Troy said, they are for anything going from the United States back to another country. So if you're sending from Germany, you can include one of those global stamps on your SASE. But if I'm sending it from the United States to Germany, I cannot use that global stamp from the return from Germany back.
Yep.
It is only from leaving the United States to another country.
Just a little bit, track back a little bit. Troy said that he worked at a company and they had a whole section of mangled boxes and stuff that were put through the sorting machine. So like apparently it happens a lot, especially if you get a lot of mail. It's not uncommon. So sorry, I just saw that in chat. I'd throw that in there. I know it's not related to the conversation, but all right. I think that clarifies the stamp issue for international people. Hopefully you understand what we're coming from. There's some debate in chat. They can only be sent out of the US, those forever stamps. So if you're out of the country, put them in your SASE, on your SASE. If you live in the country, send it out with that stamp. That's about as clear as we can get. Okay. Moving on to the giveaway. Last week we gave away these two cards. Urkel, certified auto, and a Taryn Manning certified auto. She plays Pennsylvania on Orange is the New Black. We have a winner, David Kajic. I think that's how you say it. DK, you have won. Congratulations. We'll get that out to you ASAP. And the new giveaway is James Michael Tyler. And let me run through some of the shows that he's been on. He's basically a 90s darling. He was on every popular show in the 90s. Friends. What were some of the other ones? Friends was the big one. I had a list earlier. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Scrubs. Just Shoot Me. Like he was on a bunch of those. Anyways, so Chase actually met him. Got an IP signature, and there's the autograph there.
Right there, yep.
And the video of him signing this autograph will be on the giveaway page. So you're wondering, how do I win this autograph, this 8x10 signed photo from James Michael Tyler? Well, you go to our website, autographersanonymous.com or graphersaa.com. And there's a little tab on the right that says giveaway, and you click that and you enter your information and answer this question: what autograph in your collection do you question? So do you have an autograph in your collection that you're just like, I love the signature, but man, I just don't know if it's real? I think Chase talked about one that he's kind of on the fence about, his Mark Hamill, which got rejected. Obviously puts doubt in your mind. But he's still iffy about it. Do you guys have a signature like that in your collection? Something that like you're just like, I want it to be real, but
I told you, Zane Savage.
Zane's, yeah, so many forgeries, man. Like millions of forgeries. So answer that question. Again, it's autographersanonymous.com or graphersaa.com, and you can win the James Michael Tyler signed 8x10. Moving on to the case against nominations. Yeah, we're not doing the case against this week, but we are doing nominations. We got 6 nominations that are going to get narrowed down to 2 nominations by the end of this discussion, and you guys will vote on those 2 and pick which one you want to see in next week's case against. That poll will be up on our website, again, autographersanonymous.com, autographersanonymous.com. I got in trouble last time because I didn't pronounce that, and I kind of went through it. Autographersanonymous.com. And you can click the poll, the case against poll, and actually vote there, or you can go on Facebook and vote, or you can go on Twitter and vote. And the winner, like I said, we'll do on the next show. So our 6 nominations for this week are Hank Aaron, Bob Dole, Whoopi Goldberg. Those 3 were in the last one. The newcomers are Ruby Rose, Christopher Plummer, and Susan Sarandon. So we have Hank Aaron, which is one of those that people, that made the finals last time. Bob Dole. Whoopi, that's one that I haven't heard a lot of talk around, but she's been a good TTM signer for a long time, and she's a decently big name. So it'd be interesting to look into her. Ruby Rose is a newcomer, new celebrity, but she's a decently big name now. And doesn't she have like a Marvel or DC role coming up or something? Batgirl, yeah, that's what it was. So she's going to be blowing up even more soon. And then Christopher Plummer, which there is a lot of debate on. A lot of people citing on the side of Secretarial. We can look at that and see. And then Susan Sarandon, who has signed great for many years now. Any ones you guys want to knock off the list first? No,
where's all the Bob Dole hate?
Bob Dole can't go first. That's the rule. He has to go at least second. Anybody other than Bob Dole you guys want to knock off the list?
Let's make Zane work hard and put them all on the poll. All 6 of them.
I can't see. I would do that, but you can't actually make a Twitter poll or no, it's a Facebook poll. You can only have
Facebook,
2 in Facebook.
They used to
So,
let you have as many, but they don't anymore.
yeah, we got to follow the Facebook rules. Our overlords. So, what do you guys see one that you can scratch off? I'm thinking Susan Sarandon. There's not a lot of people itching for that, but that's just me.
I think the 2 new ones, Susan Sarandon. I haven't heard a lot of discussion about her, and I've only seen a couple Ruby Roses come back, so I don't think there's a lot of new stuff out there yet.
Sorry, Stacy, your 2 suggestions are gone, my friend.
Yes,
Unless you want to defend them. Do you want to defend them?
Probably not so much Ruby Rose, because like I said, I mean, that's kind of a new thing. I'll still stand by Sarandon, but I'm not overly
Okay, well, it's up to
stuck on
Chase.
if it goes away.
Chase, Sarandon, yeah or nay?
Sure, we can knock it off. Maybe put it on next time or something.
Sorry, Stacy. Welcome back. Okay, so then Bob Dole's available for chopping at this point. So I'm not going to vote. I'm for yes on Bob Dole.
So who do we got? We got Hank Aaron.
Oh,
Whoopi.
Hank Aaron, Bob Dole, Whoopi, and Christopher Plummer.
I would say Hank Aaron and Bob Dole, but then Zane's going to get crushed because Bob Dole's going to get crushed.
Yeah, I think Plummer's got to go on this one. Just I don't think there's been enough talk in the hobby lately about him. Like I didn't even think about it.
I've seen over the years a lot of talk about him, but you're for axing Plummer. Okay. I'm voting against.
I'm trying
that.
to get your Dole in there, man. Help me out.
No, I know. I would say axe Whoopi. I don't know though. It's getting tough because I kind of like all of them at this point. Like I would love to do one on any of these people.
I'll vote for Aaron and Dole.
You want Aaron and Dole to compete? Okay.
Let's do a couple old timers. They're both up in there in age. Let's
way up there in age.
Oh yeah,
Chase. Do you have?
I'm fine with that. I mean,
do you have? You don't want to defend Plummer or Whoopi?
I mean, I would like to. I would like to see Whoopi, but I've got a few from her, but I don't think anybody else wants to see Whoopi on there. So I really haven't seen a whole lot from Hank Aaron come through lately. So
oh no, this is a long tail.
Oh, okay.
There has been a couple recently that came through, but he's been signing since like I started the hobby.
Right. I was talking about recently. I haven't seen anything. So
what I don't remember where that was posted, but it was it Star Tiger?
Yeah, there was a couple of them within the last several months, but
okay,
it's very
I'm all in for
sporadic.
Dole, so you got me on Dole, and I'm for Hank Aaron too because I think that's the second most interesting. Now I'm just going to plead with you listeners, for the love of God, if you want this meme to end, vote for Bob Dole so we can get him over with. Don't you guys want to know if like all your thousands of Bob Doles that you've collected over the years that are signed by
look
his
at this
wife
way.
are real?
Bob Dole could be 2 for 1 because you could throw Elizabeth Dole in there.
I know. Well, we'll talk about that. If Bob Dole is, I guarantee you, if Bob Dole is picked, Elizabeth Dole will come up in conversation. Guaranteed. So, do we have a consensus? Hank Aaron and Bob Dole. I need a yes.
Works for me.
yeah, it looks good to me.
Okay, awesome. So, that's our choice. You guys get to pick which one we do. Pick Bob Dole for the love of God. So go on Facebook, go on Twitter, or go on our website. You can vote any of those places and pick who you want to hear the case against. And we will do our research and come with some big conclusions on the next show. You have a week to vote. I don't know if I said that. So after that 1 week, that gives us a week to prep. So 1 week. Okay, guys, that's it. That's the end of the show. And we went a little like an hour and 20. It's pretty good. Fanatic feedback. Remember, guys, go to our website again. Autographers Anonymous. For you people saying I was slurring it. And do the fanatic feedback, ask us questions, and I have a lot of fun with those. So you guys ask some really good questions and add some meat to the show. So go do that. And now we got to promote some stuff. Let's start with Mike.
All right, guys, you can find me at www.autographsforacure.com. I've finally started uploading. It's a pain in the butt process, but I'm getting there. So I've added a blog, so I'm going to start just blogging some stuff about autographs that I get in. Just gives me a chance to kind of express myself in the autograph world. There's also, I've added stuff to the store. So if you guys want to make a donation by purchasing something, those proceeds will go to the Orlando Health Cancer Center. So www.autographsforacure.com. That's got all my links for my social networks too.
Stacy.
All right, you guys can find me. My main social media is Instagram. You can find me over there. The specific autograph one is that autograph dude, or you can follow me at Stacy R. Schaefer. I will post autograph stuff in my stories on there. And on Facebook, my Facebook page is that autograph dude.
Awesome. Chase.
Check out my my YouTube channel, Chasing Ink. Every Wednesday, I got my Q&A Wednesday until I run out of them. So check them out.
Yeah, check those out. Those are pretty cool. I used to do that whenever I was first starting the hobby, send out those Q&A sheets, and those are always fun to get back. I think I said that last show, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm only getting about 30% back. So, I mean.
Dude, that's good. Like 30% is good. Like a lot of people just sign, it's a sheet of paper, throw it away.
Yeah, sometimes they'll sign it but not answer anything. So cut autograph.
Signature. Well, I can be found at thesavagelibrary.com, which takes you to my eBay page, where I sell autograph books and map pieces. Expanding that soon. Slow going, but we're getting there. And then Fabric Fobs. Have a keychain with some celebrity shit in it. Sorry, I cursed. I apologize. We're not trying not to curse on this show. Some celebrity clothing in there. A lot of it, I kind of narrowed it down recently to a lot of movie worn stuff. Some people thought it was creepy to put personal worn clothing in there, and I was like, I guess. So I'm cutting it down to kind of make just like screen worn stuff. So
they wore this to the screening or to the taping of this.
Who knows?
Episode,
like,
right?
I don't know. I was getting messages like you're selling people's personal clothing, and like that is a little weird. I mean, at least if it's a piece of movie memorabilia, it has more meaning. So I've kind of narrowed it down to that. There is some personal clothing on there still from some bigger names like Judy Garland and Elvis and people like that. So
does that mean you're stop buying old man's underwear then?
No, because the old man underwear was that was from a movie.
Okay.
No, Arkin was from a movie, my friend. All right, I'm gonna stop blabbering. Thank you to Stacy Schaefer for being on the show today. I think we can all agree it's nice to have you back, buddy. Hope you're on the next one.
Hopefully,
you're on the next one.
Should be regular now.
Good. I like to hear that. So that's it for today, guys. You take care, all of you autograph addicts.